The Pentagon issues credit cards to members of the military. And they also audit those credit cards to see and make sure that these individuals aren't using them for illegal activities or non-authorized activities. Well, the audit of government travel charge transactions by the Department of Defense actually found some pretty interesting things. It's to be made public in coming weeks, and it found that both civilian and military employees use the credit cards at casinos and for escort services and other adult activities in Las Vegas and Atlantic City. So this is amazing, okay? They are government employees. I get it. They're part of the military. Some of them are civilian employees. They're using these credit cards for escorts, right? And escorts that's a euphemism for prostitutes.
Right.
Yeah, like I love when
it means
people
prostitutes.
Exactly. So
yeah, it's not like I need someone to attend me at a sandwich shop.
Exactly.
They're going to stand next to you. You're having sex with them.
Exactly. Okay, so they're spending money on that. Now, here's the little caveat to this story that's important to know. Holders of the cards pay their own bills, and then they submit receipts to be reimbursed for expenses related to their government business. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the taxpayer is footing the bill for the escort services. But nonetheless, I find it so amazing that these individuals know that these credit cards will be audited to ensure that illegal activity is not taking place, and they're still engaging in illegal activity. Now, go ahead.
Oh, just really fast. Plus, they were assured when they got there that what happens there stays there. Apparently, that's not true, actually, which I was surprised to find out.
You're such a dork. All right, so what kind of consequences will they face? Well, because the review was an audit of the credit card system and not an investigation of particular individuals, the official said the likely result will be that the agencies and military branches most affected will be compelled to remind employees that the practice violates policy and possibly law.
Oh, maybe they'll get a letter of reprimand. Probably not.
Can I need to work for the government, right? I mean, we don't even get letters of reprimand here at TYT.
No.
Right? Like, we get away with everything. But it's just amazing because if you work for the government, you can engage in all sorts of illegal activity, and it's totally okay. You want to sleep with prostitutes? Cool, cool. We're just doing an audit of the credit card system, not of individuals.
We don't want to point any fingers.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm fairly certain that there's no way to write off your gambling losses at TYT, because if that was the case, I could think of a few people who would have bankrupted us long ago.
Yeah.
If that was actually going on. And so, look, a lot of how our evaluation of how bad this is dependent on how much they are actually successfully writing off. If they're finding a way to file an escort charge as God knows what, then that would be really bad, because I don't have a problem with escorts, but I don't want to pay for someone else's escorts. I barely want to pay for my own.
I agree.
But if they are, in fact, just doing it to sort of hide it from their spouse and then they actually pay for it, that's not quite as bad. Although we do know that they waste a lot of money in general terms.
I agree with you. Now, unfortunately, we don't have all the details of the report right now because it hasn't been released yet. We just have Politico's summary of it, which is missing a lot of details. But this talks about members of the military that are issued this credit card, but I'm sure that there are other members of government that might have the role of fighting against illegal human trafficking or whatever, and they might be utilizing these cards for escorts or whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying that all escorts are victims of human trafficking, but if they're people that are supposed to enforce the law and then they're, you know, prosecuting some people and then going behind our backs and sleeping with prostitutes, I've got an issue with that.
Yeah.
I can't get over that they said they compelled to remind employees that this practice violates law. I can't get over. I keep reading that over and over. They feel compelled to let you know you're not supposed to use this for hookers. Really? Yeah. And by the way, they send them a letter.
Wrong?
We have to send you a letter.
To do that?
We're also going to send a letter to Jamie Dimon and remind him it's bad to do a $13 billion fine. Just going to send you a letter. Going to send you a letter.
We just want to remind you.
He thought it was just frowned upon. He didn't know it was actually illegal.
Going to send a letter to George Bush and Don Rumsfeld, let them know it's bad to illegally invade a country. You're getting a letter. That's what we do now. We give people, if you're in government and you do a horrible, heinous crime, you get a letter. But if you're a regular person with a pocket knife, you're going to get your spine snapped.
Or if you're a teacher who's caught up in a cheating scandal, you get 20 years behind bars.
My God.
That is, they're prosecuting those teachers using the RICO statute, which was put in place to go after drug kingpins, and we're going after teachers because that's how you clean up this town, right? By one teacher at a time. God damn it.